All right, guys, welcome to the to the Crossman production show. Today I have a special guest, Brie Burke. So I met Brie on Facebook. She's an actress. I'm going to bring her in, and we wanted to kind of get with her today and let her share her story and get to learn a little bit more about Brie Burke. So I am going to bring Brie in.
Hi,
How you
everyone.
doing, Brie?
Hi, I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Well,
This is
cool.
absolutely amazing.
We're friends on Facebook, and we
Yes.
saw some of the things that you've been working on, and I wanted to bring you on the show, and kind of one for me to get to know you personally, and then kind of have you share your journey with our audience. So um, we'll go ahead and jump into it. So.
Of
Uh,
course. Um,
um, what do you first? Would you tell us kind of where you were born and raised, and what life was like growing up?
of course. So I was born in Kendall, Miami.
Okay.
And when I was around 9 months old, we moved over here to Hudson, Florida. It's about 45 minutes away from Tampa. And honestly, growing up, I was a little bit of a tomboy.
Okay.
I started acting on theater and music productions when I was 5 years old. And honestly, I haven't looked back since.
Okay.
But around 6 or 7 years ago, I decided, why not go to movies? I'm already in theater. I mean,
Right.
come on now. It's just a step above.
Right.
So I started working with Hallmark and I got my first job through them.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I was an extra in Love in the Sun. And I
Okay.
met so many amazing people. And
Right.
it's really catapulted me to a lot of the jobs that I have gotten. And honestly, the last one that I just did was with my partner that was in Love in the Sun.
Okay.
And that movie was called Women Want Everything. And
Right.
that's going to be coming out in June. So I can't wait to see
Oh,
it.
cool. So you've been doing theater since like 5 years old, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so what point did you decide that you wanted to get into acting? Was there like a pivotal moment that you're like, hey, this is something I enjoy doing, and this is what I want to pursue?
I think it was around when I was 9 years old that I thought, why not make this a living? Why not become an actress? Why not start doing Broadway? Why not audition for all this stuff that I never really thought I would ever do?
Wow, was it 9 years old? Wow, that's really early in starting.
Yes, I was really goal oriented.
Right.
I have to say, um, when I was about 3 years old, I decided this is going to be my school. This is going to be my high school. And around 8 years old, I was like, this is my dream college.
Well, you already had everything planned out.
Exactly. And
Right.
it was, and I honestly went through with all of it. I'm going to my dream college. I went to
Yeah.
my dream high school. I went to my dream school, and I'm just following my life plan that I made when I was 8.
Oh wow, that's great. So was the Hallmark was the first actual big role for you?
Yes, that was my first extra role. Um, and it was a lot of fun. It was a different look into a world that I never thought that I would enter other than theater.
Right.
And as soon as I entered that world, I just realized I can't get enough of it.
Right.
That it was just so amazing. So I started doing a little jobs, extra work here and there
Right.
until I finally got my big lead in Hollows Point, which I do believe is going to be coming out soon. Hopefully, with COVID, everything's been pushed back.
Right.
So
Right.
hopefully that will come out. But it all started from there.
Wow. So let me ask you, because you've been working theater,
Mhm.
you started off in theater, and then going into doing film.
Yeah.
Do you find one more challenging than the other, theater or acting?
I'd have to say theater is more challenging
Right,
because you have to get it right every single time.
right,
And a lot of acting, you do have to get it right, but
right,
you can also take multiple takes. In
right,
theater, you don't have that luxury.
right. So okay, um, and then what was there like a big difference of being like going into a theater and then being on an actual like movie set, like a Hallmark movie set?
Oh my
What was that like? I know there's got to be like a huge transition.
That was probably the biggest transition I had ever faced.
Mhm.
Um, because I was so used to just being on the stage with lights and an audience. I was so used to that. I never really realized what went into making a movie.
Right,
So as soon as I walked on set of this Hallmark production, I was floored. There was fans for the actors if they would get too hot.
right,
There was food for everyone. There was a whole buffet. There were tents for people to get changed. There was everything. You could have your own separate tent if you would like to.
right.
They were very, very friendly as well.
Mhm.
And I honestly, going into it, thought, well, they're not going to really accept a new person. I don't know if all these people really know each other. I don't know.
Right,
But I was really pleasantly surprised when everyone welcomed me with warm arms and was like, "Hey, welcome to the family. You're
right,
now officially in this with us."
right. And, that's a brings up another question I have. Like, whenever you're doing movies like the Lifetime and Hallmark movies, they seem to have like um, the same. I don't say same characters, but there's a lot of the same people in a lot of their movies.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
so what's that like coming in and from as an outsider into something like that and
Hmm.
like the one you said that that they welcomed you in with welcome arms, with open arms. But is that what was that like what for you walking on that set? What was that like?
It was really scary at first
Hmm.
because I thought, um, what if they don't like me?
Right,
What if all these what ifs kept on going through my head? And I was so ready to just tell my mom I wanted to go back home because I kept on getting into my own head thinking, what if they don't accept me? What if all these people that know each other don't want another person in their clique or their group or any of this stuff?
right,
But seeing how they treated each other and they treated everyone as if they were a member of the family
right,
really showed me that there was nothing to worry about. And I just went in,
right,
did my job, and everyone was supporting me for it.
right. That's awesome. That's awesome. And so, like, as you were growing up and you were going through these, what do you think it was the one of the biggest things that you've learned?
One of the biggest things that I've learned is the past is the past, and
Right,
you can't keep looking back on it to change your future
right,
because you have to look ahead. And it's much like a car with um, the rear view mirror. You can't keep on looking in that rear view mirror if you want to keep going straight.
right,
So I really had to learn that at a young age. And I had to learn to keep on going if I made that crash. And I
right,
had to make sure that I kept on going and I kept on going and just made it to where I wanted.
right.
That determination got me a long way.
That's good. So, that's another thing too is going through, I guess would be theaters as well, and film. There's such there's so many times that you're rejected for roles.
Yeah.
When you're doing something like that at an early age, how do you handle something like that?
I took it with strife. A lot of the times I would beat myself down. When I was younger, I would beat myself down. I would go, was I not good enough? Was I not the person that they were looking for? Like, what's wrong with me? Can I change it? Will they look at me differently if I do change it?
Right.
And as I got older, I just realized not every role is perfect for me. Not every role is going to fit my specific character, my specific voice, needs, wants.
Right.
And a lot of the time, I would just go into an audition and I'm like, hi, I'm Brie Burke, and I'm auditioning for the role of anything.
Right.
If I get in, I get in.
Right.
And that got me a lot of good roles back in the time when I was in theater, but you can't do that in film.
Yeah.
You have to go for a specific thing. And I think it was my first audition for film that I really realized that. I was like, I'll go for anything that's open with my age range. I'll do it. I'll learn it. But I realized really fast that you need to have a specific want for your character. You need to have a specific voice, characterized how you want to act for them, and just make sure that you are true to yourself, but true to the character as well.
Right. So now you've done how many films have you done with all together?
I've done around 22 films.
Oh wow, okay.
So, and I have, I believe, 9 contracts coming up. So we're having a lot of fun with that. I have one that's coming up in Ireland, and that's going to be an amazing time. So you just might be looking at the next Madam Burke. You don't know.
Awesome. You know, it's funny because my family's from Ireland. My grandfather.
Really? Oh my gosh.
So that's like one of my dream places to go back and visit. As a matter of fact, like yesterday, my daughter and I were just like watching these different places that you could go visit in Ireland. So yeah, that's awesome that you get to go out there and film. You have to send me pictures. Let me know what it's like.
I will. I will most definitely be sending you little snippets of behind the scenes and a little bit of classified information.
Awesome. Yeah, my daughter would love that.
It's the first in.
Right, and she just got to doing a report at school about her Irish heritage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So is there you've done these different movies? Is there like a particular role that you would love to do?
I'd have to say that I would love to do a romance. I haven't been able to do one as of yet where I'm the lead, but I would absolutely love to do a romance and just see how different it is from my other roles that are usually comedy, drama, horror. I want something a little bit different, maybe a little bit of a challenge.
Right. So have you ever thought about looking into like directing or producing or anything like that?
Yes, I actually have directed a video, and this video was for my nonprofit, D.A.Y.S, Depression Awareness in Youth and Young Adult Suicide.
Right.
It turned out amazing in the end, and I absolutely would love to do it again. I actually decided that I was going to do it again, and I am doing it again. And tomorrow I'm going to be directing another video, which I shall send to you when it's done.
Awesome. Yeah, and the one you just mentioned with the depression and
yes,
I watched that video. It was done really well done. So
thank you.
So I'm definitely going to send like a link so that people can see that video because it was amazing. Yeah, what you did.
Thank you so much. Yes, I directed, wrote it, and produced it, and it was a lot of fun to make.
Right, and is that like one of the things is like a passion of yours? That subject and
most definitely. If I'm not behind or if I'm not in front of the camera, I would love to be behind it.
Right.
And just see a whole new perspective in a whole nother light. And honestly, it is absolutely amazing to see other actors doing a job that you want
Right.
and seeing how they're bringing themselves to a character that you wrote and seeing how they make this character come alive.
Right.
It is absolutely amazing.
And, I know that it's like a totally different beast. I interviewed
Yes.
Sean Cronin this morning, and he's
Oh,
notorious for
nice.
playing like the bad guy in like The Mummy,
Mm-hmm.
Impossible. He's got like a bunch of movies, but he was talking about that today too, about the difference between acting and directing,
Mm-hmm.
and be able to be behind the camera and actually create the art,
Yes.
and then also all the everything that goes with that, trying to manage the budget and work with all these different actors, and so
Absolutely incredible. It
so
really is.
he's about to do a movie now in the
Really?
UK, where he's going to take a part of the UK and try to replicate America.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, in his next film. So like a city in America. So yeah, so for you guys to be able to go in and take and create something like that as a director and producer, I mean,
Yes.
that's amazing.
It truly is. And honestly, if you can send me the link to the new movie that he's going to be doing, that would be amazing. I would love to check it out and honestly message him about it.
Cool. Yeah, and he's actually doing a casting call for it too. That's like,
Really? I
yeah,
would love to audition.
yeah. I'll send you that information. So
Thank you so much.
yeah. So um, like for somebody who's trying to get into acting, you
Hmm.
know, what advice would you give them?
I would have to say, don't strike yourself down. You don't know a lot of the time what people have seen or
Right,
what they are looking for.
right,
So don't think, well, I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to do this. I'm never going to get this role.
right,
I'm not what they're looking for. You never know until you try.
right,
And going into a new thing is always a little bit scary,
right.
but just know that if you go in it with 100%, you will most definitely make it out on top.
Wow, that's great advice.
Thank you.
So let me ask you this, because you've been doing acting so long. Um, during the pandemic, there was kind of a freeze on everything.
Oh, yes.
How did you kind of deal with that? Being that this is your lifestyle.
Me personally, I did work through the pandemic.
Mhm.
It was really hard at first
Right,
because everyone had to stay at least 6 feet away between
right,
takes, had to have their masks on. Even if you had makeup on, it was really funny to watch as people were
right,
like trying to fix themselves and then have to put on the mask again.
right.
Um, I actually had to get the vaccine to continue working.
Hmm.
And during that time, I actually had to go to New York to film something,
Oh,
and
wow,
I had to go and get another shot done.
wow.
It was a lot of stuff that just happened back to back to back to back.
Right,
And I know it shut a lot of people down.
right,
And some of the movies that I was in during that time still haven't come out
right,
because since COVID is still happening, people are scared still and they don't want to get COVID again. And God
right,
forbid it be worse.
right. So after the pandemic, you
Mhm.
know, do you think that Hollywood has been better off? It's starting to come back.
Mhm.
One of the things that I noticed, and I have a lot of of the independent filmmakers on my show, is that there's just been such an expansion of
Mhm.
people who you know during the pandemic, I felt like that everybody had a chance to reset. You know,
Yes,
so and during that time, I think a lot of people started really trying to figure out what their passion and what their purpose in life was, and I think more people started going for that. You know,
most
um,
definitely.
and then once the pandemic kind of ended, then I think that if there was an explosion of people jumping into the film industry and going for their passion and acting and directing, and I think it's brought out like so many awesome acting communities.
Yes, most definitely. It has really brought a big boom back to Hollywood that honestly we've been missing for a long time.
Right,
Because a lot of the time, or even before COVID, people weren't paying attention to Hollywood anymore.
right,
It was just something that was there.
right,
And if you wanted to strive for it, you couldn't really. I mean, it was untouchable. But now, since it's at such a human range,
right,
people are taking that step and they're realizing, I can do this. I'm here. I can
right,
do this. I have the determination, the will, the need, the want. I'm here. If they
right.
need me, I'm it.
It's cool because I'm seeing so many amazing people that are so
Yes,
talented, coming out and be able to live their passion.
exactly.
And so it's been really for me it's been really inspiring to see uh, people doing this. And and I was looking at some of the stuff that you've done, and I mean, it's just a lot of it's just amazing to see. Um,
Thank you.
I saw one of the projects that you're working on. It looked like a western.
Yes, actually, we are going to be filming that, I believe, next month, I believe.
Okay,
We are going to be finishing it up, and it's actually called Velvet Hammer. It
right,
is directed by Even Stevens, and he is absolutely an amazing director. He actually has another movie that he is working on called Rescued Innocence,
right.
which is a trafficking movie,
Oh wow.
a sex trafficking movie, and I'm going to be one of the lead girls, and I'm going to keep it hush hush because I'm not spoiling anything,
Right, right.
but it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait for you guys to see it.
Cool. And what's the name of that one?
Uh, Rescued Innocence,
Rescue Innocence. Okay, cool.
and
So
that's the movie that's in the future.
right. So let me ask you this: through all the stuff you've done, is there one particular role that just like really stands out that you really enjoy doing?
I would have to say that my favorite role
Hmm.
had to be in the Book of Alicio,
Okay.
where I was basically a mafia girl. I was
Uh-huh.
I was a girl in the mafia
Right.
who had to run away from her boyfriend.
Right.
He likes to think that she was his, but not in the least.
Right.
Um, she had to run away, make sure that he was okay, make sure that he didn't get killed, and when they finally meet each other again, he's like, "Why did you leave?"
Right.
And it really showed a lot of that feminine wild energy that we
Right.
don't really get to see anymore. And I absolutely loved working with the director and the cast and the crew. It was absolutely stunning, and I can also send that to you as well if you would like.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, anything that um, we're definitely help push it and help promote the project you're
Thank
doing.
you.
So, and that's another thing too is you know I think that there should be more um, big movies with leading actresses.
Exactly.
You know,
I totally agree with that.
and so I would love to see like like a big action movie or something with like a leading actress taking and taking the
Yes.
reins on it and doing a big movie like that. So um,
I totally agree with that. That would be absolutely amazing. Who knows?
Right? Exactly.
Who
So,
knows?
what are you working on currently?
So, other than Velvet Hammer, I am currently working on another movie that is going to be coming out soon, hopefully. It's another one of my contracts, and unfortunately, I can't really say much about it, but I
Right.
can say that when I can, I most definitely will. But other than working on movies, I am
Right.
also working on my music career as well.
Right.
I'm working with an LA producer that goes by the name of King D. He is absolutely amazing. And he actually is the one that produced Taylor Swift's Red album.
Okay.
Um, he's produced for Rihanna, Jay-Z, Ray J, Brandy,
Wow.
and so many more. He
Right.
is a star in the meaning of a star.
Right. And, and I was going to ask you about that too, because I saw on your site too that you had some videos of you singing.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you if that was something that another passion that you were looking to pursue.
Yes, I am currently pursuing it, and I am so happy that I finally took this step because I was trained classically. I was trained in opera singing,
Right.
and I've always wanted to stretch to different lengths.
Right.
First, I wanted to do country, then I wanted to do rock and roll. Now I
Right.
want to do pop. And with King D, he's really given me that opportunity to go to those limits and see
Right.
what fits me.
Right.
And currently, we are working on a song that is in the pop genre.
Okay.
And we are thinking of going into another song that's going to be the pop urban genre,
Oh,
which is basically like J-Lo, Pitbull.
right.
So it's going to be amazing, and I can't wait for everyone to hear it and hopefully for it to be on the radio.
Right. And from what I heard, you have a beautiful voice. So
Well,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to see your new music.
Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait to show it to you. Hopefully, it'll be out soon. I really hope so.
Awesome. So let me ask you, for those who want to follow you on your social medias and in all the things you're doing, how do they get a hold of you and be able to see you?
Of course. So I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, you name it. I probably am on it.
Right.
Um, I am on TikTok and Instagram under the same ID, which is B Burke or Brie Burke 3.
Okay.
Snapchat is the Brie Burke. Facebook is Brie Burke, as you know.
Right.
And Twitter, I believe, is the same as Instagram and TikTok. So the Brie Burke 3.
Awesome. And what we'll do is, if you send me the information, I'll link it to the interview, and that way people can also see it from there as well.
Yes, I would love to. I'll definitely be sending that over.
Well, cool. I'm excited of all the things you're doing. So, are you thinking about going back and doing theater again, or is that?
I am. I am a little bit. As soon as everything slows down, I'm thinking that I'm going to take a little bit of a hiatus and just focus back on my roots and just see where it came from and to where it is.
Right.
So I'm definitely thinking of joining back into my old theater group and seeing everyone else that has lost connection over the years.
Okay. And then, through some of the stuff you see, are you doing modeling as well?
I am. I am actually signed with MMG,
Okay.
which is in New York, LA, Georgia.
Wow.
They've they've really grown since I've joined.
Right.
And honestly, I absolutely love them.
Right.
are so helpful and kind that they really take your schedule into consideration instead
Right.
of a lot of model agencies that are like, you're free this day. There's
Right.
no question about it. You're free
Right.
this day and you need to be there.
Right.
So I am currently doing modeling, and if you go onto my pages, you'll definitely see a little bit of it.
Right.
And I'm actually hoping to post a little bit more this coming week.
Okay, cool. So that's what I said. It's the multi-talented Brie Burke. I mean, you do theater, you do acting, you know, you're bringing out a new album,
Yes.
singing, and you're modeling. Where do you find time to do all this?
Honestly, good time management and
Right.
a little bit of poor sleep schedule.
Right. Well, that's awesome. Awesome. So, I want to thank you for being on the show today. I mean,
No, thank you for having me. Was absolutely amazing.
well, thank you. Yeah, and I love being able to sit down and just get to know people and
Yes.
hear their story and see the things that they're doing, and it's just it's inspiring. It's inspiring and encouraging, and to be able to to have people like you come in and share what you're doing, and having you inspire and encourage other people. That's that's amazing. So thank you so much for coming on and
Thank you. Yes. And thank you for inspiring me to do more stuff in the future. This was
awesome.
absolutely amazing conversation. I absolutely loved being here.
Awesome. Well, I thank you so much for being on, and we're going to post to your social media,
Yes.
and then I highly, highly, highly recommend people go and see the video that you did too. It's
Thank
amazing. It's an
you.
amazing video, and then I'm excited to see some the movies that you got.
Yes.
So
I'll be sending those over to you.
awesome. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you as well.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us today. You remember, you guys are uniquely designed with a purpose, and always keep moving forward. Peace.